Pay attention to the words they're saying, okay? Four. They have some words. A long train. All right. So that was our introductory video for our language lesson. Does anyone have an idea what we're going to be learning about? Ryan?
Conjunction.
Conjunction. They said it multiple times. So anytime we begin a new lesson, I want you guys to know where we're going. So we always go over the standard, so to let you know what you need to know for mastery, what you need to know when we take a test, what you need to know to be able to achieve this standard. So our standard today for ELA is I can explain the function of conjunctions, prepositions, and interjections in general and their function in particular sentences. So, what was the function of a conjunction?
To hook them together.
Hook them together. And in the video, they had train cars that were connected. They were conjunctions. They all connected. So conjunctions is what we will be focusing on today. We're only going to do one today, okay? And we're going to only focus on conjunctions. So can y'all read the standard with me? I explain the function of conjunctions, prepositions, and interjections in general and their function in particular sentences. So we're only going to work with conjunctions today. And I'm going to write that on our board, conjunctions at the top. And conjunctions, we need to know their function. What is their purpose in writing? Conjunctions. Alright, so I'll put that on our board. Conjunctions help join simple, complete sentences. And what you do is you place a comma before the conjunction. And he said, Ryan said, or. That was one of the ones that we heard in the video. What is something that we can help us to remember the conjunctions? What's something that we learned? It's a phrase that we learned maybe in 4th grade, 3rd grade, that can help us remember the coordinating conjunctions.
Fanboys.
Fanboys. And I'm going to write that on the board. Fanboys. The standard fell down. So today we're only going to focus on coordinating conjunctions. We have coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions help connect two simple, complete sentences. Alright, so for a complete sentence, let's review. What's a complete sentence? Let's let Ashley, do you know what a complete sentence is? Sarah, with the A. Sarah, do you know what a complete sentence is? Is it an independent clause or a dependent clause? Alright, what's independent? Let's review that first. What is an independent clause? Do you know?
It's by itself.
It can stand alone. Alright, so what's the opposite of independent?
It's dependent.
Dependent. And what does dependent mean?
That means it can't be by itself.
It
It has
can't.
to be connected to something else, like the parts in the video.
Good, that's it. It has to be connected like the carts in the video. Alright, so a dependent clause, it cannot stand alone. Just like you guys are dependents of your parents. That means you depend on them for shelter, for food, for clothing. Because can you get that on your, are you independent? Can you go buy clothes by yourself?
If you get a job.
If you get but really can 5th graders get a job?
You're too young.
You're too young.
You have to
So you depend on your parents. You're dependent of your parents. Just like dependent clauses depend on independent clauses. So if I just give you a dependent clause, it's unclear. You don't know what we're talking about because it's not enough information. That's why conjunctions help connect simple, complete sentences. So fanboys, what does the F stand for?
For.
For. Alright, the A?
And. Nor.
Nor. So y'all remember these, right?
Because.
But.
Or. Why. Yet.
Yet. So. Alright, so we're only focusing with the coordinating conjunctions today, and once we understand the coordinating conjunctions, we'll move on to subordinating conjunctions. You need something, Ryan?
No, I actually, because of the video, it's like, so, an independent clause is like the engine of a train that drives it. But a dependent clause is like one of the truck cars that carry stuff
Yes, because the cars cannot function
or move on
their own, because they need the engine, which is like the independent clause. That's a good example to help us remember. Alright, so we have interactive foldables to help us remember the coordinating conjunctions. Y'all can put your name on the back. Everyone has one? Alright, put your name on the back.
What's the next?
Well, you're gonna put it in your notebook, so as long as you put your first name, there's not two Ryans in your class either, or Cadens, those are popular names. So, our activity, we're doing the conjunction graphic organizer, and we will only work with the coordinating conjunctions today. Later this week, we'll add the subordinating conjunctions, okay? We're gonna make sentences using the conjunctions, and I want you to circle the conjunction in sentence. So the first one is F, for. I'll give you an example, and then I want y'all to create your own sentence, okay? So,
On which side?
open the flap up, and then you write on the piece of paper, okay? You get what I'm saying? Open this flap up, and then you write there. Okay.
I did this in third or fourth.
You did it in third or fourth? Alright, well, it's just a refresher, okay? So, my example is she put on a sweater, comma, for it was cold outside. Usually we don't use for that much, but we need to know how to use it, okay? So you can put that one for our beginning, okay? She put on a sweater. Sir?
I have.
You have one? You want me to write it up here so y'all can see it, the first one? Sarah, you want me to write it up here? Okay. I'm gonna leave what the conjunction is, okay? But we need to pay attention because we place the comma before the conjunction, okay? So we just can't throw it in there. I'm gonna put the first one up there, my sentence, okay? I'm gonna put, if I put it down here, can y'all see it? Okay. Or I could put it at the top. Here. I'm gonna put it at the top so it's easier to see. I made up some examples last night. She put on a sweater. She put on a sweater, comma, for, that's the conjunction, that's connecting the two complete sentences, for, it was cold outside.
For the winter? Would it work better when it was cold outside?
For the winter, for it was winter, you could.
You would put, would you have to put for it after it, or can you just put?
No, okay, this is a complete sentence right here. She put on a sweater. That can stand alone. That's a complete sentence. For, comma, conjunction, one of our fanboys, it was cold outside. It's connecting those two sentences together. So now it's one sentence. It's one compound sentence. Think of it like a math problem. Simple sentence plus the conjunction, simple sentence, equals compound sentence, okay? So these are two complete sentences. So if you want to say, for it was winter, that is a complete sentence, because it'll say it was winter. Do you want me to put it like that?
I was just asking if she put on a sweater.
So y'all go in and write the sentence for
Conjunction.
For four, okay.
Do you have, well, it wouldn't be complete sentence if you put for it was winter.
Okay, which one? What are you talking about? Comma conjunction, that's your fanboy right there, one of your fanboys, for.
For
What are you referring to?
winter.
For.
For winter, could you just put for winter?
No, for winter, because that wouldn't be a complete sentence.
That kind of be like what is it called? Dependent clause.
For winter, it wouldn't be a complete sentence if I did it like that. If I took this off and put for winter, she put on a sweater for winter. Yes, but we're trying to have two complete sentences and we're trying to connect them. Yes, we're trying to connect them using our conjunction, because we're focusing on conjunctions. We're trying to explain their function, what they do. They're connecting two simple sentences, two complete thoughts. We're trying to explain what they do in our standard. We're trying to explain their function. Alright, so to complete our foldable, on the F, you need to put for. You did it?
I put or.
Okay. A, what do you need to put? And. You can write it on the front or in the inside. I think you should put it on the front. You see how he's doing his? It looks better if you put it on the front. You see what by that A and just finish the word and. You get what I'm saying? You understand? If you understand, let me know. Okay. And then
Don't write me nor.
N is nor. Nor.
Nor, but, or, yet.
Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you know how to spell but. B, are you going to write the words on the outside like Gage did? He already completed his. O is or, and then Y, yet, S
So.
is so.
I'm just really bad at keeping the pace with writing.
You'll get it. So did y'all like that Schoolhouse Rock video? When I seen it, I thought it was cool. It had a good beat to it. So, now it's stuck in my head. Conjunction. And it's telling you what it does. It connects. Like that train was a good example. Like whenever you're trying to think of conjunction, think of those fanboys connecting two complete sentences.
And how you said it would get you far, and it was a long train.
It is. So, did y'all put your fanboys on the outside of the
Yes,
foldable?
ma'am.
Alright, put those under your seat. When we go back to the room, to the other room, we'll put those in the notebook, okay? Did everyone complete that? Oh, no.
Not yet, sorry.
Alright, so, hold on, wait, let's catch him up. We're gonna stay together. B is but,
I'm on yet.
you're on yet, and then S is so. Alright, so put those under your seat. Did you get those? You got those there. Alright, take one, pass it around, put your name on the top. It's conjunction worksheet. Daily basis. We're still learning. This is our first day with conjunction, so we're still in the learning process.
I'm just saying, will we ever do? Like,
Do worksheets like these for daily basis?
Mhm.
Of course.
Great.
Put away.
I got one.
Oh, you, Sarah, tell me to give me your paper. Alright, go ahead and put your name on the top.
Oh yeah, my number. How do you put my number right?
Alright, so we're just, putting your number, your number in the class. That's how we know it's you. Alright, so I passed out the worksheets, and this is going to help us reinforce conjunction identification, so we can identify the conjunction in sentences. So, Sarah, can you read the directions?
Conjunctions are words that join two or more
phrases or clauses.
Explain conjunctions for and not the or yes.
Right, and those are fanboys, what we did on our foldable, so we can help us remember those, okay? So we're gonna do this together since we're still learning. Alright, number one, everybody will get one. Number one will be Sarah, 2, Gage, 3, you'll have 3, 4, 5. Alright, so I'm gonna look on with Sarah. Number one, you read the answer, and then you identify the conjunction, okay? You're gonna join the two sentences together using one of the conjunction. So what they're doing is they're giving you two sentences, and you wanna join those two sentences. What joins two sentences together? A fanboy. So you wanna use one of our fanboys to join those two sentences together. Alright, so Sarah, you go ahead and read number one, and then you tell us which fanboy you're gonna select, and you're gonna write the fanboy on the line.
I looked behind my bed. I could not find my shoes.
Alright, that one's beneath. I looked beneath my bed, I could not find my shoes. Which one of the fanboys do you wanna use to connect the two sentences? But?
You're
Okay.
exactly
I
right.
agree.
Do you wanna use but? Alright, so you go ahead and write, on number one, write but.
I hope the whole sentence with but. Do we just write but or do we write the whole sentence and?
Just write the, fanboy on the line.
Oh, I already know that whole sentence.
Sir?
He said he already wrote the whole sentence.
This is pretty easy.
I know, but it'll get harder because we're still learning, okay? So this is our first day. So number one.
Next time we come, are we gonna come tomorrow?
You'll come every day, every day.
Only purple group or everybody?
We might rearrange the groups. I'm not sure yet.
I'm not actually.
But today purple came, I'm not sure who's coming tomorrow.
I'm not actually.
Alright, number 2, Gage.
I had $50. I'm not reading.
Alright, which fanboy do you want to use to connect the two sentences?
So,
I had $50, so I brought a video.
I agree.
You agree?
I bought.
Alright, so number 2 will be so. Okay.
I wish I could buy me a video game.
You watch a PS4 game?
I'm a Nintendo fan.
Nintendo fan?
Of Xboxes
Alright, number 3.
and PS4. I read my program. That's it. Independence. Is that dependent or? It's independent because it can stand alone.
It can stand alone. It's a complete thought. It's a complete sentence.
I read my thing. I could not find my information on my favorite player.
Okay. Now, which fanboy would you like to use to connect those two sentences?
Could we use the same one?
Yes, you might use them again.
I think, but I read my program, and I could not find information on my favorite player.
Okay, I read my program, but I could not find information on my favorite player.
I agree.
I said, which one did you use?
I said but. You said
But?
and you read it though.
Okay, now tell me which fanboy you're gonna use. But, alright, let's see. Let's read it. I read my program, but I could not. But. Number 3, let's put but. Okay, 4. Number 4.
I improved design.
I couldn't hear that one.
I improved design. I approved the plan. I think it should be and. I approved the design and I approved the plan.
I agree. And you're connecting those two sentences using one of the fanboys, one of the coordinating conjunctions.
We agree. Do you want us to do like this?
Ah, that number talks. You can. I know it means I agree. Do y'all still do number talks?
No.
Yes.
We don't do number talks, but we do I grade the bathroom sign and we
We
do all
do this
that.
for the bathroom sign.
Y'all don't do, or do y'all do mental math? Y'all do number talks?
We
No.
Last year y'all did
Basically,
number
our-
talks, right?
Basically, our
Yeah.
number talks is like our morning work.
Morning work.
Oh,
Okay.
basically.
Number 5, Blue.
I could spell all the words. I could not define it.
Okay. Now, which fanboy are you using to connect those two complete sentences?
But
I could spell all the words, but I cannot define them. But
They just
That's
love
correct.
putting but in
But-
these papers.
sometimes, like,
It
it's,
could be.
we don't use for a lot, but still, we can use for to connect those two complete thoughts. That's not one that we use a lot. You know, it's common.
what's the main one?
But,
You could
and,
use for.
And
but when
Some-
we use these,
You can
let
kind
me
of-
ask a question. Do you think these conjunctions, using these conjunctions, help add details to our writing? Like if I just say, I could spell the words. That's just kind of blah. But if I give you more details using those conjunctions, I could spell all the words, comma, but I could not define them. That makes that sentence stronger. It tells you more details about it. So conjunctions can help add details to our writing too. Do you think it's boring just to read a paper with all simple sentences? I like the rain.
No,
The
because-
rain is blue. I like my thing. If we use conjunctions, it can help add details to our writing. We don't wanna just read a paper with all simple sentences. You're
Basically, the
Kind of
newspaper.
the
The whole
newspaper.
newspaper.
Now that y'all are in the 5th grade, your writing should be stronger and you should add more details. That's why we're learning to use conjunctions, interjections.
On like stuff like essays and constructive responses, they like mostly on essays, they like if you have more if you have simple, compound and complex, you get a higher score.
Yep. So that means we need to know how to use those conjunctions correctly. Because they can add points for you. Alright, so
They can add points for you.
because look at you. You threw me a subordinated in there yet. We haven't even got there.
I know.
One of those subordinating conjunctions. Alright, Ryan, good job. Using a subordinating conjunction, that was good work. I like the way you did that. Alright, so we're gonna wrap up our ELA segment, but I just wanna see how you guys feel about today's lesson. I'm passing you out a Post-it note as a ticket out the door. I want you to write a sentence using one of the fanboys. On the front, your name on the back. Okay? Yes, sir.
Yeah, don't get used nor does for.
There's two sticking together.
See,
Alright, and by your name, I want you to put,
I just used 4 fanboys in one sentence. Yet don't get used nor for and nor don't get used.
Wait, I always said no.
alright, so what you're doing on your Post-it note,
One sentence.
this is the front. You're writing a sentence using the fanboy. This is your ticket out the door. Sentence with fanboy. I want you to use it correctly. If you need the comma conjunction, you put the comma conjunction. On the back, you're writing your name, so I'm gonna put my name, Miss Williams, and how I feel about today's lesson. If I understand it, I'm putting a smiley face emoji. If you still need some help with conjunctions, put you a straight face emoji, okay?
What about
Be honest, because I'm gonna see these, okay? And I wanna know if you need extra help, we're gonna help you. Because before we can move to subordinating conjunctions, we have to master coordinating conjunctions. We have to know their function and explain what they do in the sentences, okay? Okay. And when you finish, you can just stick it up here, just come, when you're finished, just stick it up here on the board, and I'll take them up. That'll just let you know you're finished.
do we need to
By the way, I blew all of my hands.
You have hot water.
Yeah. I couldn't wash it off.
And we both have new pencils.
Alright, so our I can statement.